This is a look at a game in early access, so everything said here is subject to change. Pay attention to the date this video was released. Hello everyone, welcome to Game Breakdown. I'm Nardigraph, and today we're going to be looking at a game called Dead Cells that's its early access, and it's going to come out on the May the 10th. So let's start with the graphics. The graphics are just retro-style sprite sort of graphics, very reminiscent of Castlevania, and the animations are really fluid. I didn't encounter any animations that broke so far, so that's really good. Now let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is very Castlevania-like, with a rogue element of the procedural generation of the levels and the enemies, with a bit of Dark Souls infused combat. There's quite a bit of weapon variety already, even though the demo is very short. It's about, I'd say, depending on how good you are, it could be from an hour to 2 hours. It's a very short, but there's a lot of replayability in it because you gotta upgrade your weapons and everything. And that's just a demo. Just as it continues development, I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that's gonna be added to it. But there's a lot of weapon variety. You start out with a simple sword. You can get a blood sword, which basically makes people bleed, and it's a little slower than the normal one. There you can get like 2 knives. You can get a whip that goes through shields. There's a lot of weapon variety in it already. Also, you can get bows and trinkets and magic. And I haven't even encountered every weapon still in the game. I'm still dropping blueprints at this point. And speaking of blueprints, that is how you unlock your weapons. You unlock your weapons by getting blueprints. Use the cells that you gather from enemies to upgrade them. It's quite a neat system, and you upgrade them after you beat a level, which if you die at the level, you don't get the chance to upgrade them, which can be kind of frustrating. But the first level is easy enough that you're always gonna be at least upgrading it a little by little, at least. There's also a dodge system where you can dodge roll a lot of attacks, but you can also find shields, which lets you parry attacks. And depending on the shield, certain shields have special effects, like making enemies around you bleed, or making them drop gold, among other things. There's also bombs, which you can throw, and they have special effects like freezing, stunning, or a vine that does damage. There's also sentry turrets as well that you can drop on the ground, or they'll attack enemies until they are destroyed, which is also really cool. There's such a vast amount of variety in the weapons already, which makes me very excited for what they're gonna add in the future. There's quite a little bit of enemy variety already. There's basically the amount of enemies I expect for each level, and also in the future they plan on adding alternate paths. So if you're tired of, kind of like Magicide, if you ever played that, if you're tired of going through one path, you can go through the other one. For example, right now in the game I've only found the ramparts, but I've already seen a door to the ossuary, which I don't know exactly how to get there. The demo ended before I could get another relic that would allow me to go through the coffins that you find around, so I'm not sure you can get that there in the demo as it is. But there is that plan, and it is implemented in some way into the game. There's also secrets to be found. There's runes in the wall that you can break for either money or food that heals you, and also secret challenge rooms that you have to beat by not dying. There's also a time challenge room. Well, it's basically a room in the ramparts that you get in by getting there before a certain amount of time, and those rooms will have later blueprints and other stuff that they're gonna add. Right now it's just money. You can also find upgrades to either your strength, your health, or your skill powers that will make you stronger and stronger. Those are placed randomly around the levels, so you might get lucky one time, not get lucky another time. The RNG is very much heavy in that one, and that will certainly help you model your playstyle around either the tools you have or your preferred playstyles as it stands. Just from that, like, there's already big plans for the game. There's already a lot introduced in the demo already that I think it makes it worth at least a look at. And we're gonna skip the story for this one because there's not much story as itself. All it is, you're just this blob that takes over this corpse, and you move the corpse around, essentially. There's not much to the story besides that. I'm sure they will add a proper story eventually. Let's go to the execution, the whole package. How does it work? It works exactly like you expect a Metroidvania to work, except you see a little bit of variation from the levels. Even though you're visiting the same levels over and over, there is a certain variation to how the levels are placed. So, if you ever imagine what a Roguevania would look like, this is exactly it. This is exactly a roguelike Metroidvania. It's exactly how you expect it to place, like you expected. It's quite fun if you're into Metroidvanias, even. I personally really enjoyed it. Just from the little there is of it. I'm still playing it from time to time, which really shows how strong the presentation on their demo is. And I think as the development goes along, it's definitely gonna be a really good game. The difficulty isn't that hard. I spent hours and hours trying to beat the boss that's in the demo. After the demo kind of ends, but I spent hours and hours trying to beat that first boss, and it was so satisfying when I did it. It wasn't hard. I just needed to find a strategy that worked out for me, and with the variety of weapons, there's plenty of them. To my personal opinion, which I've pretty much just shared, I love it. I love Dead Cells. I think it's a great game. It's definitely something you should look at. Especially if you're into Metroidvanias. If like retro graphics and Metroidvanias aren't your, I don't think it's something that you enjoy, because that's exactly what this is. But if that's your thing and you're interested in it, I definitely say get it. The demo is very polished, and it can only go up from there. Now, it's always mentioned in early access videos, you're iffy about buying early access, at least keep an eye on it. There's definitely a lot of promise in this game, and if delivered, it could be a really, really good game. It could be one of the roguelikes that I played the most. Really, the only other roguelike that really plays FTL, and I barely play that because I'm not really that into roguelikes. But a Metroidvania might be finally the thing that grabs me. That's my personal opinion. For the price breakdown, I have down should be about 15 to 20 US dollars / euros. I'm not sure if Steam is gonna do the conversion on that one. Give or take, which I think it's a very fair price. There's gonna be a lot of replayability in the full game, I'm sure. So I'm very excited about this. I definitely would say when it comes out, get it if this is your kind of game. And if you're iffy around early access games, just keep an eye on it at least. It's definitely a really good game, and I hope I can bring your attention to it. And that's it for this game breakdown. I hope I convinced you to get the game, because I'm really excited about it. And I see you guys on the flip side. Catch y'all later. Bye.